Hello and welcome to the Business Advisory Show. I'm here with Iain Enticott from Technology for Accountants. How are you, Iain?
Yeah, good. Thanks, John.
Fantastic. I'm hoping, Iain, you could kick off with just a little introduction and summary about yourself and the business. Who are you and what do you do?
What do we do? So I'm the founder and director of Technology for Accountants. We're based here in Box Hill South in Melbourne. And for the last, personally, I've been in the accounting industry for over 20 years, but Technology for Accountants has been around for the last now 9 years. And we provide IT support to accountants around Australia. So our clients range from small firms up to around 80 seats. We have a team here that does the day-to-day. Mostly I'm involved at the strategy level. So I'm in helping firms understand where they are, helping navigate all the technology changes, whether that's servers, whether that's cloud, whether that's cybersecurity, understand that at a business level and help the firms move forward. We really like to engage firms that actually see IT as a strategic advantage and really understand the need and how it helps them grow to the next level.
Fantastic. What are the ways that you personally enjoy helping accountants with technology?
I like to get in and actually get an understanding of their business. Where are they today? Where do they see themselves going over the next 3 to 5 years? And that allows us to create that roadmap for them. Firms that really see it as IT as a strategy now piece, we're not out just saying, yes, at times we need to say you need to replace bits and pieces, and we do that, but it's about, well, why are we doing this? What's the impact of making this change? What's that going to do to the bottom line? Is that looking, for example, at document management systems, if we're in the cloud already, how do we phase out some of that technology and what's that going to do to the firm? Some of our clients have a lot of offshore teams, so we work with them. How do we secure those offshore teams? How do we prevent those teams offshore, for example, accessing some cloud applications when they shouldn't be? How do we lock that down? And we also have a lot of firms now who still aren't in the cloud. Well, do they want to go to the cloud? What's that journey going to look like? We help them map that out. We talk about doing change management and helping that incremental improvements and not just doing a wholesale change, but that causes a lot of disruption which is downtime, lost productivity and so on.
Yeah. Do you have particular firms that appear to not really have much of an intention to go to the cloud, and do you support those?
We do support those ones as well. We actually have a lot of firms who, I would use the word cloud adverse. They're not seeing a business case study for it yet. However, over time, those firms will. I mean, accountants are living in a world at the moment where they have a lot of change happening in their own business models. And we like to get in and work with those firms to help them understand that. How can technology help them change? And for some firms, they just want to put the brakes on. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with still having a file server in your office and living like that and working like that. That's still a very good business model today. Yet we have other clients that are the polar opposite of that. They are 100% in the cloud, but they have their own unique challenges as well.
Yeah. What does cyber? I beg your pardon. Look, come back to cybersecurity. I was going to ask you about digital disruption. I just forgot that. So, what does digital disruption look like today for the typical accounting firm? And is there a typical example, or is it quite diverse?
Accounting, we go back 5-6 years ago. It was every account was pretty much the same. Digital disruption now is and even Microsoft with their way. Digital disruption is about how do we do things differently. It's about using technology, working collaboratively. Even Microsoft, the example, a really easy example that Microsoft gives is, for the last 20 years, we've always been sending documents out by email. For example, how can we work on those documents in the office or with third parties together? And Microsoft have tools around that, within Office 365, for example, that really help us do that. And we help firms actually embed that into their culture. All right, it's about changing the way and changing their thinking around that, and that's what digital disruption is about: is thinking differently at a business level.
Yeah, understood. Well done. So, in terms of digital disruption for let's say an older school or traditional type of firm, what are some of the things that you are seeing are common in that you must consider?
Yeah, that's it.
And then yeah.
So a lot of the firms, and with those established firms, it's about going to them that software now is purchased on a monthly subscription. They're used to buying something, running with it for 5 or 6 years, owning it. That's what we used to do. And Office 365, a lot of software now is purchased on a monthly fee. It's about explaining, well, what are the benefits? How can we break down this technology and stop seeing it as an expense item? See it as a business improvement tool. Improve your processes. And looking at those modules and working with that there. So it's really, a lot of firms just see Office, for example, as Word, Excel, and Outlook. Well, Office 365 is Word, Excel, and Outlook, and about 10 to 20 other applications that you get in the browser. And Microsoft Teams is a great example for that. You can now collaborate internally using Microsoft Teams. It's part of Office 365. You get it when you're on Office 365. If you go and buy the old desktop version, you don't get that. And it's about, well, okay, if we take that, how can we use that? How's that going to help us? And for some firms, especially when they've got remote offices, they can cut down their emails. I mean, I don't know about you, but in business, we're all drowning in emails. If I could remove 100 emails a day, it's fantastic. And if I could have a chat about something a lot quicker. I mean, I've just finished a meeting with 3 of my team members. We're all in different areas at the moment, and had a call, and we just did it all through Microsoft Teams, which was used the old Microsoft Skype, which is gone. All right, so we could share a document, work through that on the screen, and away we go. The other thing I like to work with firms is looking at all of their applications they use. All right, how is there an application we could use that you're already paying for something else in? So one of the concerns we have with a lot of cloud accounting firms is they've gone to the cloud and they take on subscription after subscription after subscription. Let's look at all those subscriptions. All right, and what's the benefits bringing in? Is there a way we can consolidate some of them? Are they all needed? And we help get a handle on all those ongoing expenses.
Yeah, I've noticed that for many accountants and their clients too, that cybersecurity is fast becoming a much more significant issue now, particularly with remote team members and things like that, and what they log in on compared to the traditional company PC in the office. What does it mean today to an accounting firm, cybersecurity? Cybersecurity
is a big area. And it's about helping a firm actually understand their position or their cyber posture. It's an ongoing journey. You can't give a firm a checklist, and I can't come in and go, well, I've ticked these 10 things off and here's a certificate and you're secure. That just doesn't happen. It's about ongoing things. I mean, everything's constantly changing, evolving, the landscape is. The other big education piece around that is a lot of firms think their IT person has it handled. IT is different to cybersecurity. IT is about Windows patching, it's about firewalls, it's about computers and servers and those things. Cybersecurity is about the behavior and the policies and procedures at a business level. All right, and it's also about education to your team. 90% of breaches are typically caused by human error. All right, not at the IT level. So it's about at the strategic level, about let's say at the board level with the firm going, okay, what are our policies and procedures around remote access, around mobile device usage, around remote access? Do we allow staff? I've got some firms that have a no remote access policy. I've got firms that it's open for everyone. I've got some firms now that are banning use of mobile phones. Now that represents its own challenge. If you ban mobile phones, how do we do two-factor authentication, which is a requirement for a lot of software we use today? All right. So if you have mobile phones, are you expecting that to be installed on every staff member's private phone? So now we have a HR issue. So they're the challenges that we get in and help firms actually understand. All right. And we just help you talk through those firms. And it's very different. Everyone's got their own definition of risk. Some people will never jump out of an airplane and go skydiving because it's too risky. Other people go, yeah, hey, I'm all for it. Right, so it depends what your level of risk is, and that's really what it comes down to, as identifying those. And we've got a number of tool sets we help firms go through and navigate. And for some firms, they're happy to be a little bit loose and a little bit on the wild side. Other firms, everything's locked down, and that's fine. So as I said, everyone's very different.
Yeah, and are there? I don't know myself, but are there any common questions that you tend to get asked by accounting practitioners about tech or security?
The common one is how big a risk is it? Is it just a media beat up? I see it every day. I see firms get compromised pretty much daily, and we get called in to help with a lot of firms that have. It is big. I mean, with some of the rules coming in Europe now, it won't be long before Australia follows that. Our mandatory data breach laws we have in Australia is a step in the right direction, but they are pretty weak. All right, there's no real major penalties. The biggest penalty is you actually have to tell your clients. So every accountant needs to abide by that. So it's more of a reputational damage. All right. If we start following down what they're doing in the EU, there will be fines attached to that, which are very, very severe. And that's something we need to look at that there. But it's about actually understanding where you are today. And again, it is a open the checkbook and you need to invest some money to a certain point, but how far do you want to take it? I guess the biggest thing I stress to everyone I talk to about this is you are never 100% secure. It's physically impossible. It just can't be done anymore. All right. But it's about understanding the risk.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Now, you are also on our roster as one of our partners of choice that we invited to come to Accountants Big Day Out. What is it about that particular event, that you were interested in being involved, and we certainly appreciate your sponsorship for that. Mm-hmm. What is it about the event, and what would you look forward to sharing with the attendees of that event that obviously the majority of clearly running their own accounting firms?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting, all the attendees are coming, but happy to have a chat to them about and get to know them and to get to know their businesses, where they are on their journey, whether that is helping them to transition to the cloud, or whether that is helping them actually understand their cyber position better around that there, or even if it's helping them have a chat about, okay, what should we be doing long term? What should we be looking to do over the next 3 to 4 years? Maybe we're an MYB firm. Where are we? What should we be looking at? Maybe we're on Xero already, and we're looking for a new document management system because that's their bottleneck. Yeah. All right. How do we move from where we are? Because business is always moving now. You can't. Accountants years ago, you did the same thing every day, year in, year out. That's gone now. You've got to be constantly evolving. All right. And there's no one size fits all.
Yeah. And do you believe that in my theory, and that is that really your tech strategy is probably an 18-month full-blown strategic review now, every 18 months?
It is. I mean, we're seeing new vendors pop up, every second day. Are they going to be there in 12 months' time? Who knows? It's very easy to go on the line, buy that app, try it out. Oh, that's good. And all of a sudden, you're paying another $70 off the credit card for something else. And, what does it do? And you're using it for one client. What are all these little things doing? So you've got to constantly reviewing it constantly. It's at 12, 18 months at a minimum nowadays. So that's it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing today.
No problems.
And we look forward to seeing you, of course, at Accountants Big Day Out as well, coming up in about a month's time, thereabouts.
Yes.
And any tips for the current calendar year as we go? We're almost halfway through the calendar year. Any
current tips? Start your planning. Don't leave things to the last minute. I mean, I personally work with nearly 90 odd accounting firms. All right. So a lot of our clients, significant projects are planned out nearly 12 months in advance.
Yeah.
All right. So don't expect to do things at the last minute. So if you're here thinking, here we are nearly, what is it now? 1st of June, thinking about that, you're going to do something on the early July, you may have left a bit too late already.
So for our viewers out there, that also means, come and talk to Iain at Accountants Big Day Out in 4 to 5 weeks' time and learn what that planning's all about. And so you can get on the front foot. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing, Iain. I appreciate that. Have a great day.
Well, you too. Thank you. Cheers.